coming to you live from Elle's floor. It's the Twenties Project. Woo! I love how I got my guns up like in the first 10 seconds of this video. I'm Elle. Hi, in case you guys don't know me. Today is Thursday. Thursday is going to be my day for vlogging and all that good stuff. Now you may be wondering why I'm sitting on my floor, and I will tell you why. I'm sitting on my floor because it's the cleanest place in my apartment right now, because my apartment is a mess. It's honestly like a bomb went off in here. It's a huge mess. But I can justify it. I am in the middle of painting right now, so all the stuff that was in my kitchen is on my dining room table, and like my couch is like some weird little like man cave. My room, you know what, I won't go into it room by room because someone's gonna barf or, you know, throw their computer out the window, so I won't talk about it, but I will talk about mess. That's today's topic, mess. So yeah, like I said, I have been painting, so, you know, for anybody who's painted, especially in a small apartment, it's very hard to keep it clean while you're painting. And also, I'm a busy gal. I got a full-time job. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I was doing work and school, and, you know, trying to keep this place clean for a while, and that was just like impossible. So I've kind of been building this mess. It's like a collective mess for the past 9 months, but I have to advocate for some people that you would write off as being like messy, lazy, unorganized, like not clean whatsoever, because there are people out there like myself who are classified as messy people, but we're not the same. I'm going to call us, I'll think of a name right now, quasi messy people, unconsciously messy people. Let me explain. Here's a scoop. I don't like mess. I don't approve of mess. Don't really enjoy messy people. Don't like messy people. Not to the extent that that sounds really mean. Not to the extent that I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you, you're a messy person. But it's like, oh, that's not really cool. That kind of sucks that you're a messy person. But I don't like mess, but I feel like I constantly live with like this little mess fairy following me around. But just because you live in mess or you seem to be a messy person does not mean that you're a messy person. The reason why I'm messy is that I've always been busy. I've always been a very busy person, and I've always been the kind of person as well, ever since I was a kid, to be doing multiple things at a time. And I'm always a multitasker. I can't just sit down and watch TV or watch a movie. I have to be doing something. I have to. I'm always all the time. You know, I'm always, and when I'm home, at least, I'm always busy, you know, doing multiple things. And then, of course, I do work a lot. I have a full-time job, as I'm sure most of you guys do. So it's hard. It's hard to, you know, keep up. And now here's the thing, and I haven't really admitted this out loud, or if I have to many people, because it's a little hard to understand, but pretty much the best way to explain it is this. I don't like mess, and I hate mess. I really like things to be clean, but, you know, from being busy and from painting and, you know, other things come up and, you know, so on and so forth, mess gets created, and I get overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. And I'm always afraid that once I start, I won't stop. And with that, it's not just, you know, me saying like, oh, you know, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter or all this stuff. Like, I will disappear for days. And I'll just get so caught up in cleaning everything that like I just won't be able to stop. I just get overwhelmed and I start, thinking about so many things that I could clean and the way that I'm going to clean it and a timeline and da-da-da and all this stuff. And the gears in my head just start turning and turning and turning. And it's like a runaway train. And I get so freaked out by my own near OCD wants that I don't do anything. But you know what? We're all friends here, and the first part to admitting that you have a problem is to admit that you have a problem. And I'm scared of cleaning. I'm scared of cleaning because I'm afraid I'm never going to stop, and I'm just going to be a cleanaholic because that's what I am in my head. And if I don't do anything, that stops me from being a cleanaholic, which is probably the worst logic that I've ever come up with. But that's just the way it is. I think I'm just going to try tackling just one small area at a time, because I have tried it a little bit before, and that does seem to help a lot. I'm bad at putting things on the floor because I'm in a hurry a lot, going out to work or to a meeting or something. And so yeah, I'm a floor person. So what I've tried to do before that actually works really well for me is I'll look at everything on the floor and be like, oh, this is so gross. And then I'll just choose one type of item and I'll pick all of them up and deal with them. So every single piece of clothing on the floor, I'll go around and pick that up. And then I look at it, I'm like, look, it's looking better already, like the end is in sight, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's done. And then I'll pick up all the papers, or if there happens to be garbage, which doesn't happen that often. I'm messy, but I'm not unhygienic. So if there's any like papers on the floor, I'll pick up all the papers, and I won't do anything with them. I won't start like going through it and be like, because that's when I start getting all squirrely. It's almost like I'm a squirrel. I'm a squirrel. What can I say? I'm a squirrel. But I pick up all the papers on the floor, and I don't go through them, but I'll just put them in a pile. And there are the papers. And that, a pile is a lot smaller than mess. Like when you have papers and cards or whatever you have spread out all over your floor, or for example, on your coffee table, on your couch, on your dining room table, on your kitchen counter, if it's all spread out, it's very scary to look at. But if you organize things into just piles, even that looks better, and that's more manageable. And then when you have more time, or when you're feeling better about it, you can just take that small pile and sort it out, and then it's gone. Here's another tip. Don't think about anything else. Don't. Just focus. Stay present, stay in the moment, and concentrate on what you're doing. And I'm also a multi-thinker. I think about so many things at one time. The wheels turning and the runaway train, and I'm like a squirrel. I'm like a squirrel. This is so embarrassing that I'm admitting on YouTube that and therefore in public, that I am like the human version of a squirrel. But anyways, I usually tend to think about 10 things at once. And while you're cleaning up whatever mess it is that you have, or even if you're like me and you need to go through your whole apartment, I'm cleaning up one thing and I'm thinking about something in the other room that I have to clean up. And that's bad. I realize how bad that is, because how are you not supposed to get overwhelmed when you're almost finished one task and you're thinking about the 5, 10, 20, a million other things that you have to do? Like, no, that's bad. Messy people, this stops now. When you're even for clean people, when you're cleaning, if you find that you're thinking about all these other things, just stop. Focus on what you're doing, and then it's done. You don't have to think about it anymore, and just concentrate on one task at a time. My 2 tips for messy people or quasi-messy people, or whoever you are and however you categorize yourself when it comes to your mess. 1, keep it small. 2, keep it simple. And 3, focus on one thing at a time. Comment and like and all that good stuff down below if you have any cleaning tips for me or for people in general, or if you want to, you know, vent and talk about how messy you are, or, you know, make fun of me for being a squirrel. That's cool too. Yeah, that's it. So, subscribe to our channel. Please follow the TwentiesProject.com. And then you'll be completely set. Fashion, life, everything. We are here to sort out your life. We have flaws that we will figure out for you to have a good life during your 20s. The end.